Rugby League is back.
Drum roll, please.
You're a true Warriors fan.
I have no recollection of that hot take.
We don't all have to agree.
It's good to be back.
It's just a really boring thing.
Oh, no.
Start winning some games.
I think there'll be a lot of changes to the team.
I've got them making the 8 for mine.
Let's go. Hello, folks, and welcome back to the Advantage Line, TAB's Rugby League betting podcast. My name is Karl. That is Paul Mawadi, and he played in the very first game for the Warriors back in 1995, Paul.
Yeah. I still remember it. It was great to catch up with all the OGs as well. So, yeah.
For legal reasons, Paul did not play in that game.
What?
That is an absolute mistake. We'll go around the horn here and welcome him back in after a week on the bench. A forced break. Nick Tedeschi. Teddy, how are you?
You can escape the grasp of the legal team, but you can't escape the wrath of Karl Tiley. That's how it works. That's how it works around here.
I'm
A week on the bench.
surprised it was only a 1 week suspension.
It was an Anfanua Blake situation. I'd sort of released to get to a competitor's podcast. I couldn't get the release early, so I'm back putting in my best effort.
No. You will see out the season, pal.
If anyone knows legal action, it's Teddy Tedeschi.
I reckon that's, what's this, round 23. This is probably show 27. We're probably 27 weeks straight using some sort of legal joke and Nick Tedeschi. Consistent. At least we're consistent. And third man in, as always. Don't know if that's how it went on the field. But Blake Ashford, welcome.
Yeah, no, I never really made too many tackles, Karl. So I was out there just having a rest, not doing too much. Well done. Once again, I'm brought in after a Warriors loss. Don't get the Surly treatment. Get to come in all roses. So here to obviously dissect losing and also talk about the great man that's just retired.
I'll be honest, that's why I brought you in, not because on the back of a loss. Just thought we should have someone who actually played with the great man and not just fantasize about playing with him. So anyway, before
Oh boy!
We're gonna need the producer to cut that clip up right there. We're looking. Get a timestamp, please.
Happy to.
Oh, boy.
Absolute fanboy here.
Shaun Johnson's lawyer is on the phone as we speak.
I hope he sees it. I hope he does. Before we get into it, I want to do something a little, not really an experiment. Just want to have a yarn about betting. This is a betting show after all. I'd like you boys to go to your bet slip or your bet history, resulted bets, and I want you to tell me about the last one in there, win or loss. If it's a loss, then tell me about that, and then we'll go find a winner. But I just want to hear a couple of stories. I can kick things off. Last resulted bet for me was Saturday afternoon, 5:08 p.m. Doomben Race 7, number 3, Boom Talk at $5. Had 25 on the nose. It came third. That was me for the day. Finished. No more betting for the day after that loss.
No more betting for the next 3 days, it sounds like.
Yeah, actually, no more betting for the next 3 days. Look, we had a few things on the weekend, Ted. Okay.
You know there's an Olympics on.
No, not allowed to mention that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, this is brilliant stuff.
Paul, you on?
Oh,
it looks like a little green tick there.
No, it wasn't. My last resulted bet was from Sunday. And unfortunately, I picked the wrong Dummy Myers runner. I took Maureen Zeta in the first at Harwater on Sunday, and unfortunately came nowhere. So, and I'm still scrolling back to find a winner. So we may not get there for mine.
I've found a winner 56 minutes prior to that last bet. And it was a little same race multi, Real Kaka race 7. Top 3 for Illicit Dreams, top 4 for Pippi. Had 30 on to collect 104. So pretty happy with that one. No, I won't say that. Teddy, yours, please.
I'll give you 2. My last result and my last pending. My last result was not from Saturday or Sunday, it was from 3:57 this morning. The women's hammer throw. Zhao Ji to win a medal, collected $8.25. So nice little winner there. And my last pending is the weightlifting kicks off tonight. We've got a weightlifting double. Hampton Morris to medal. He broke the world record, first American to hold a world record in 50 years in the weightlifting. Into Mihaela Cambi, the young Romanian, in the women's 49 kilo to medal. A little double there. So 40 on to win a couple hundred. So there you go.
Very nice.
Someone who cares about gambling, that's for sure.
Yeah, I was about to say, Teddy. I'm glad that I'm not the only degenerate in this group. I was also up late last night watching my Boomers squander a 24-point lead, and that was my last result. I don't know. Gorgian's got to get fired, but that was my last result. Same game multi. In the Boomers game. The only thing that cost me, the one leg loser, that is me, yes. The Joker, under 11.5 rebounds. The game obviously went to overtime. He started overtime under 11.5, eventually went over. So that's the story. That's the story of my punting, really. My last win, we want to go multiple sports. It was yesterday in the baseball same game multi. Not a big collect, but yeah. Otani, Bryce Harper, Philly, and the Dodgers. So a little same gamer there.
Oh, very nice.
Lovely. Yeah, degenerates. Love the degens.
Yep.
I love this. I love this segment you added in here, Karl. I'd like it to continue, but I would like you two to put a bit more effort into your gambling. And if we're recording this on a Wednesday morning, not to have the last bet on a Saturday afternoon.
Please bet safely, punters.
I'm going to ask for a test account so I can really let down, open up the shoulders.
All right. Let's actually, we'll stick with betting, and Moani will go to the results from last week, please.
Okay, let's have a little bo peep. Not pretty, to be fair. Blake had one bet, the whole hundy on. Dogs -4.5. Into the Roosters head-to-head, into the Wars -3.5. No good.
Unlucky.
Surly, yeah, we got some bets from Surly. Unfortunately, no winners. He had Titans Broncos, either team to win by 1 to 12. Tigers Cowboys, either team to win by 1 to 12. And Sharks Rabbitohs, either team to win by 1 to 12. No good. Then he had a little double, Titans +5.5 into the Wars -13.5. And then he had SJ and Jerome Hughes to both score tries. So no luck there for him. Oh, a little sunshine here. Karl, 2 bets, 1 loser, 1 winner. Had the Wars -5.5, Roosters -5.5, Storm -9.5, Dogs -2.5, Panthers -7.5. No good there.
Wow, I really missed all of those, didn't I?
And then he had a little same game multi. Cam Pereira to score a try into the Titans head-to-head. Got a win there. Karl is now up 827.11 for the season. Wow. Teddy, he had 2 bets. Titans +6.5, Tigers +10.5, Dragons +19.5, and Sharks -10.5. That multi was no good. And then he had Cam Pereira to score 2 or more tries as a single, no good. Yes, big time. I had Dean Mariner to score a try, McLean for the Panthers to score a try, and Kiko to score a try. That multi was no good. Then I had Bulldogs 1 to 12 into the Broncos 1 to 12.
Ooh.
No good.
Tough scenes.
That's it.
You're welcome, punters. You're welcome. consistency, guys. That's all we're asking for.
Yeah.
Okay. As Blake mentioned, if you haven't heard already, you've been living under a rock this week. The great man Shaun Johnson has announced his retirement. We're going to dedicate the next little bit of the show to Shaun. Starting off with divided opinion, and I reckon I might get some division here. Shaun Johnson is a better halfback than Stacey Jones and has done more for rugby league in New Zealand. Yours, please, Teddy.
Oh yeah, I would agree with that. He was
Wow, I did not expect that.
Well, I don't know why you pigeonholed me as being anti-Shaun Johnson. I'm as pro Shaun Johnson as they get for an Australian.
Anti-Nathan Cleary.
A little story about this has nothing to do with actual Shaun's career. I was at a pub. I used to live in Melbourne. I was at a pub and I met this bloke who's a Kiwi who used to play touch football with Shaun Johnson against his kid coming through. I'm in a dynasty fantasy league, so we've had his league since 2006. I picked up Shaun Johnson that week, stored him away, and he's been in my side ever since. He's never left the team, so his entire career in the fantasy football league been with me. So always loved him. Great player to watch. I think what he's done to attract, I think the difference between the states is both highly accomplished, wonderful players, done tremendous work for rugby league in New Zealand. I think the way Johnson plays, he's got a bit of that Benji Marshall about him in terms of it just attracts kids. It just, I can imagine there's a whole generation of New Zealanders who, thank God, have gone, you know what, rugby union is really boring. Look at this kid over here who's got his massive step, who plays an exciting brand of football. And I was actually going back, well, I know we're going to talk about this a bit later about his best ever try, but you just don't see a step like that. That's done, when you're an 8, 10, 12-year-old, making 40 tackles and doing lots of support plays isn't what gets you into the game. It's big steps and awesome tries and speed. So SJ had all that. I think he's probably done more for New Zealand Rugby League than probably anyone in my lifetime.
Nice. I can't disagree with anything you've said there, Ted. I was ready to come and fight today. I really was.
Well, I'm always spoiling for a fight, Karl, but not over SJ.
It's funny you say that about fantasy because we've got a league here that's been running for 6, 7, 8 years now too, and I do everything I can to make sure he's my first pick of the draft every year. I missed out this year, and no one's traded with me, which is disappointing. But just on, like I said, I agree with everything you've said, Ted. The only thing that may, I think has probably helped in sort of elevating him above Stacey Jones, because if you put their careers side by side, they're reasonably similar in terms of accolades and
tries scored,
tries,
field goals,
points, and games played, and all of that. Is that SJ's kind of grown up in the social media era, and that's kind of elevated him above.
In your opinion,
Stace? Yeah, absolutely. In my opinion, I'm one of the. I suppose everyone on this call we've both watched both guys play, but I'll save it for later. But I've been watching SJ for 15 years. Didn't watch Stacey Jones for 15 years. Blake?
I did.
Yeah, I sort of agree with that last statement about the social media era. Sorry, and that's probably why when you think about more for New Zealand Rugby League, it's hard to say because you've got Stacey Jones who, even growing up as a kid, or Stacey Jones, I went and watched him in a grand final. That was huge, New Zealand Rugby League. He's now the New Zealand head coach. It's hard to say that, but I just think the reach. So how I'm going to try and put it is the reach Shaun has is greater than Stacey ever had, only because of the era we're living in now. To compare them in halfbacks, you said statistically they're both the same. I think once again, they've faced different rules. They've faced different rule changes, different eras, the way the game's played. Everything's changed. So it's hard to sort of say, I wouldn't feel comfortable saying Shaun's a better half than Stacey Jones. What I will say and confidently say is that they are one of the 3 best to ever don the Warriors jersey, both of them. So, he is one of the 3 best to ever don the Warriors jersey. So but for me to say he's a better halfback, I can't say that. But he has had more reach than Stacey. Probably Stacey was a victim of the age he played in.
Cool.
There are no losers here.
Yep.
But I'm going to go with my mate Stacey, and I do that because he was one of the originals. He came in when I think it was Brandy Alexander got injured. Came in, had a couple of games, and then forced Brandy into the 1 jersey. So he forced a very, very good player out of his preferred position. He scored one of the great individual grand final tries of all time. They were 2 different styles of halfbacks. Shaun was the hot stepper. In fact, if words were replaced by fancy footwork, Shaun would definitely be the lyrical gangster. So
What?
Annie Kamosi wrote a song about Shaun Johnson. So yeah, stick with me. Here comes the hot stepper. But Stacey would glide into gaps, and his speed over that first 10, 15 meters was crazy. And Stacey was slightly smaller than Shaun as well. So I'll put my hand up for Stacey.
Yeah, I think
I kind of agree with you there a little bit, Paul. I think Shaun Johnson's done more for New Zealand rugby league. I'm not certainly with kind of Blake that I'm not willing to make a call who's the better halfback, because Stacey's career was absolutely incredible. And also has to be remembered for a bit of context. Like Shaun Johnson came into an era when that 20s team was as hot as anything. New Zealand Rugby League had won a World Cup 3 years before. Yeah, but had good coaches, kind of for the most part at international level. You know, they were in a much better spot. Stacey came through when Australia dominated everything, and New Zealand was very much seen as the kind of inferior cousin in the rugby league world, and got the Warriors to a grand final. So credit to Stacey Jones. This should never be seen as a kind of knock on him, because this is a 1A 1B situation.
Yeah, agree. All right, sticking with SJ and his career, I've got a couple of talking points here that will go around the horn. Teddy, I'll start with you. First thing that comes to mind when I say Shaun Johnson highlight.
Shaun Johnson highlight, I think of that try scored early in his career, or 2, but I'll say 1 for the best moment. That Shaun Johnson try early in his career against the Broncos, when he got the ball kind of in his own half, and then it wasn't really slicing through the gap, which was classic SJ. But he was running out to the left, and then the way he stepped back inside to beat those covering defenders, almost like he just retreated backwards and never lost a step of speed, was one of the most incredible tries I've ever seen. So I can't recall how important that try was, or whether the Warriors won the game or whatnot, but that's kind of one of the first things that come to mind for me.
We won. I think it was his debut.
No. And I'm glad you bring up his debut, because his debut. Oh no, not his debut. His first ever try scored. I believe he went through a gap where Blake Ashford was on the outside. First ever NRL try. Shaun Johnson went through a gap. Now, I think we can blame the defender on the inside here. He didn't come out when he should have. Blake had to stay out and mark the invisible man, I think. I'm not sure. Shaun went through a gaping hole and just trotted the try line. I'm pretty sure that was Blake.
No, it was Paul, but just to be noted, I did end up getting man of the match that game, scoring a try, setting up 2, and Warriors, and we came back from 20 points down. But that I did let that in, yes.
That'll do us. We can end the pod there. We're done. That's so good. Was that your highlight?
Well,
We just wanted to rinse Blake.
I didn't. I just wanted to
It's a drive-by on Blake.
I just wanted to, because he's been on both sides, like playing against Shaun and playing with Shaun. So just wanted to bring him in there. But I was like Teddy, the try he scored against the Broncos, where first of all he showed a hell of a lot of speed. Then he went out to the left and then stepped back again. He beat half the Broncos team to score that try.
Some of them twice.
Yes. Yeah. The other one would be that try against the Storm, where he turned Adam Blair inside out and sort of fake Cooper Cronk as well. So and then put who was it? Shark Eyes away. What's his name?
Cool. Thanks, man. You stole my highlight.
Oh, yeah. Well, those were the two that sort of stuck out to me.
Yeah, it was Lewis Brown. And it was the 2011 prelim finals to get us into the grand final against the Storm.
That was at Amy. I remember that I was there that day. That night.
Yeah. Cooper Cronk is rumored to still be searching for the ball. He got done so bad. So I think the cameraman got done like
Well, Adam Blair just went round like this.
To throw a dummy like.
Adam Blair went around like that.
Oh, no, I knew Teddy would be coming to me. I put the bait out.
To throw a dummy like, normally it's sort of just a little show and go on the inside. He turned around like unbelievable. It was so good. And then, to get, like you say, Stacey Jones led the Warriors to a grand final. So does Shaun Johnson.
Was that like 8-0 or something like that? That was a pretty low score, wasn't it?
14-8 or something like that. It was pretty tight. There was my highlight. Blake?
I've gone a bit left field for some of mine, and mine's probably starting the WAS movement last year. I think just that game in itself, to come back against the Cronulla team and the way they did, and then sort of win that game, and then after he obviously went on the air and set up the WAS, and then it just sort of stuck. And then last year, you've seen how big now the Warriors are in New Zealand. Every game this year sold out. Myself, I'm lucky enough to be in the footy scene over in New Zealand and just see the growth in the game. And you talk about before the impact he's had. Well, the WAS movement in itself, which he first coined, I believe, the way that movement's gone and just brought new faces, new people, everyone to rugby league. For me, that's like a highlight, and it's something that will be everlasting with the Warriors. I don't think it leaves when Shaun goes. I think it's everlasting there. And look, you can pick from many highlights. You guys have already mentioned a couple, and I'll probably touch on a couple more. But for me, I just went a bit left field because I think it's something that'll last and stick through the years, and it's something that sort of a lot of people will remember from last year.
Very nice. Teddy, SJ Lowlight.
Got to be leaving the Warriors, I would have thought. Like, one of the things I always kind of respected about Shaun Johnson, he's not a drive-by in rugby union, but one of the few New Zealand Warriors stars who was never linked to going to move to union and all that kind of stuff, always was league to the core. When things went sour, I think, was it Kearney who was coach at the time when he left? Like, obviously, I couldn't think of a worse mismatch of, the ultra-conservatism of Stephen Kearney's coaching and Shaun Johnson's brilliance. It couldn't have worked out worse. But just to see him in Cronulla colours was poor. And he really had a very, very poor time at the Sharks. Like, he came back from injuries. I can't remember too many highlights when he was at the Sharks. So, but some players you just never want to see in different club colours. And he was one of them. And I thought it was absolutely wonderful he got to finish. Not only finished his career with the Warriors, but had that Indian summer last year where it was a year that won't be forgotten anytime soon. So, sad seeing him go.
Yeah, that was my number one too. And the other one that sticks out for me was a game in 2015 against Manly. Scored a try, broke his leg, dislocated his ankle.
Okay, that's my one.
What was it? And I remember, I'm pretty sure, I haven't sort of gone back and done too much research, but I'm pretty sure at the time, like, it was a pretty pivotal game for the Warriors during the season, and we were up, and then Manly came over the top and absolutely cleaned us up, and we ended up dropping a lot of games to close out that season. It wasn't a great finish to the year. So that was the year after he just won the Golden Boot. and he was on, peak Shaun Johnson. So that was another one that stood out. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, so that was my one. But if I could just, I guess he was often criticised for his defence, but I've seen games where he chased down the fastest player on the other team, and he'd give them like a 5-10 metre head start sort of thing. I remember against Souths, he chased down Greg Inglis. Inglis had a 10 metre start on him, and he chased him down before he got to the 20. So he didn't just put the effort in with the ball in hand. He also put the effort in on defence. So, but yeah, that where he did that big injury that he did against Manly, that was the low light for me.
I wish that was my low lights, chasing down Greg Inglis, and that was that. No, my low light was probably being he was part of the cheating team that went through and made the 2011 grand final when they cheated and no, I'm joking. For me, it was probably like you leaving. And the reason I say leaving, I know we all have our reasons. It looks different, looks weird in another jersey, should always be a Warriors player. But for me, I think it was a missed opportunity for the Warriors. They made the semis in 2018 and looked good. There was a lot of players who I thought were going to come back and could have done something special. And it's one of those things like, what if? You never know. And he sort of had left before the season, it was probably that year as well, just a couple of weeks before the season started, he'd left. So I think for me, leaving and just leaving that opportunity of what could have been if he had stayed and built on 2018.
All right, Teddy, best try.
Best try wasn't his most exciting try for mine. Wasn't the most brilliant try, but I'll sum up yesterday. That try in the 2013 World Cup semi-final against England, where he skied his way through right on full time. My memory is it was right on the bell. It might have been in the last minute, whatever. I don't think they played any more afterwards, but it was incredible. With England were all over in that game. They'd come back, they'd taken the lead. Sam Burgess had led them to a spot. It was unquestionably the greatest international game I've seen, that one, that New Zealand England one. That was absolutely unreal. Johnson's brilliant at the end, and then to go back and kick it. I think he was only kicked it, but he definitely scored a try. To get through that gap was amazing.
He on his new podcast I was listening last week. He was talking about that try, and that he scored it, and he thought that they'd won the game with it. And he said that Simon Mannering's grabbed him by the collar. He's like, "You've got to go and kick this in goal, mate."
If so lucky he didn't roll an ankle jumping around the celebration.
My try, I had the Broncos one that you mentioned earlier too, Ted. But the one that I can't get out of my head, I don't know. We could probably actually go find this game pretty easily. It was first Storm at Mount Smart. Pretty sure we won the game. I'm pretty sure it was Mount Smart. But another sort of stepping masterclass, he made Cam Smith, who is a Class A defender, look like a child, just grabbing at air, completely missed him, not even close, and he just goes, this is all in between sort of 10-metre line and the goal line. He stepped 2 or 3 guys, including Cam Smith, untouched. And yeah, as I say, I'm pretty sure the Warriors went on to win that game, so it'll be a pretty rare Melbourne Storm win in recent time. Paul?
Oh, I just can't go past that Storm try where he turned a Cooper Cronk inside.
He didn't score that, though.
Oh, no, he gave it to... Oh, so...
Lewis Brown.
Oh, so it has to be one that he actually dots down.
That was the idea of it,
Oh. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going back to the Broncos then.
Blake?
Yeah. Oh, I've got many. I've got one where the golden point for the Panthers and he skipped through off. He went to go for field goal, dummied, went through and scored the try. I've got the Sharks one at Shark Park.
That was a ripper. That was a ripper. That was
unreal. But I'm with you. I don't think there was any better try than the Broncos. The way from his own 30, he went off his left, brushed some tackles, skipped out of the ankle tap, and then goosied the fullback, only to have 2 or 3 defenders come across where he went whack, whack, both off the left and still score. And he had players there in support, but just there's only a handful of players you could say in the history of the game, and this is serious, that could have done that. There's, you've got people that are fast, that are powerful, but with the footwork, the speed, the IQ level, just to do all that, there's only a handful of players in the game that could have done that, and that's probably why it was the best try I've seen him perform.
And this wasn't the 2024 West Tigers either. Like, this was the Broncos, who were a very good team at the time. They were obviously never went up there with the 2011 West Tigers, but they had some handy players there. He wasn't stepping past Luke Lowley and Solomon Alameo or whatever his name is.
I'm about to leave this show. Poor Tigers.
Straight to the head of Blake.
Yeah. That's that time at.
Feel like the Tigers just keep getting sin binned.
All right, just to wrap things up on SJ, best performance, Ted, just quickly.
I'm going to go to a series of games here. I'll look back to the 2014 Four Nations, where absolutely just dominated that series. I think one of the very few tournaments Australia has lost since the late 70s. And I thought it was an incredible performance. So it was a handy Australian side, and he was outstanding.
That's also what I had, but more specifically the final. It's set in the brain. I was there on ground. It was unreal. That his try assist to the beast, Manu Vatuvei in the corner, was unbelievable. Try he scored himself was unbelievable. Kick 3 from 5. It was, and then went on to win the Golden Boot. So epic performance. Paul?
Mine's sort of a series of games as well. I think of all of the opposing fans, I think probably the Canberra Raider fans would be the most happy to see the end of Shaun Johnson's career. It just, every time I think of a game where Shaun Johnson played against the Raiders, it's almost like he's done some sort of last-minute magic every single time just to break their hearts. And that 2 field goal game against the Raiders, I think may have been refereed by, I think Teddy used to call him Henry the Octopus. I just
don't need to bring the refs into this.
We do it every episode, to be fair. But I just think, the Raiders just every single time, almost every single time, just found the best of Shaun Johnson. Unfortunately for them,
in my head, he had a run of maybe 3 straight hat-tricks against the Raiders. I might be wrong on that one, but I remember he scored a lot of tries against those hapless Raider sides of the earlier career.
Yeah, that was mine too. That was mine too, Paulie. The Raiders, and it's sort of, I link back to 2018. So I was part of the squad, and I got to witness it. They were down 7. They were down all game, and they're down 7. Isaac Luke scores with 3 minutes to go. Still down 1. SJ kicks it with a minute to go, a field goal about 35 out. Then 30 seconds to go, they get the ball back. He marches down 40 meters out, kicks another field goal. They win 20-19. Now, there's probably way better performances. I don't know why, but that one just sticks in my mind. And, not too many halfbacks can say they've gone there and kicked field goals or 2 in a game, or had to, at tough moments when you see when it goes down to golden point, so many people miss field goals, or you see 8 attempted. He just nailed 2 straight off the bat. So for me, that performance sort of set them on that trajectory for 2018.
My memory of that game, Blake, was I remember sitting there thinking, do I take the Raiders plus 1.5, or I'll just take them straight out? I'll just take them straight out.
I was on a farm, a mate's farm in the far north of New Zealand, getting ready to go possum hunting. We're getting all the weapons ready, and we're watching on our phones on the back of the truck.
I'll tell you what, the Raiders were possums when it came to SJ.
just quickly, it is very, very unlikely he's going to see this, but SJ, I just want to say thank you. 15 years of excitement, 15 years of irregular heartbeats for 80 minutes each week, and the razzle dazzle. I'm older than Shaun Johnson. I'm an older bloke, but when I have a footy in my hand and I'm playing rugby league against my daughters, I'm SJ, and I'm carving them up.
And they are the Canberra Raiders.
Sidestepping off both feet, and they've got no chance. So SJ, thank you, and incredible career.
You'll always have the 2010 NYC title, Karl.
I absolutely will. How many people can say they saw Shaun Johnson win a grand final? I can.
Mate, I think the testament to Shawnee is, and what you want as a player is to know that all your peers not only respect you, but respect your game, respect you off the field. And what you see is what you get with Shawnee. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He loves life. He loves his family. He loves the Warriors. But it was touching over the last 24 hours just to see how many different people he affected. You had Nathan Cleary say, I grew up watching you, and this could potentially be one of the best halves to ever play the game, Nathan Cleary, saying this about Shaun Johnson.
Is Teddy?
You had Joseph Parker. You had the Wiggles. You had Mick Fanning, an Australian surfer. Kai Carter-France, Artie Sevilla. Like, these are all people, not just in rugby league, but all over the globe from all different sports. So, he's had an impact on rugby league, but on other superstars as well. And I think that's just a testament to Shawnee and how good he's been and how well he's carried himself in his career. So it was a pleasure to play against him, and definitely a pleasure to play alongside him.
Any? I noticed you didn't mention my name in that superstar story there. Any stories? Well, quick stories that you want to share?
So, when we were together, it was a lot of. When I came to the Warriors, a lot of the stuff was family time. We weren't, it was a different time in our careers, and we were mates, but there's nothing really. I have Karl, sorry, that I could chuck in.
We'll take this off.
Really did.
We'll take this
off. Let's close off.
Take that off.
I look forward to the live pub version where there's no recording devices.
There are always recording devices, Teddy. Don't worry about that. But we'll close this portion of the show out with a song dedication from Karl to Shaun. Let's just kiss and say goodbye.
Moari.
Oh God, no good. All right, NRL grid time.
Oh.
If you're still with us, pause the pod. Go and find the grid for Tuesday, 6th of August, and compare your scores with ours. I feel like I've got a chance this week.
Nah, man, I've got it this week. If Teddy beats me, I won't ever play again.
No, I reckon I'm cast this week.
I'm going to finish outside the medals.
Well, there's a try. You're like the South Sudan swimmer, Karl, Paul. no one's expecting a medal. Just get to the end of the pool.
Oh, jeez.
Across the top. Shut up. Played for New South Wales. Scored 4 or more tries in a game and played for the Titans. Down the left, has played for the Roosters, is a premiership winner, and has played for the Bunnies. Blake, given you're so confident, kick us off with your row, please.
So, play for New South Wales and the Roosters. We got Luke Ricketson, a brain, 1.45. Scored 4 tries in a game and played for the Roosters. Matt Ikuvalu, Wizard, 2.34. And the last one, Roosters and the Titans player, Josh Lewis, played with him for the Balmain Tigers, junior grades, 0.59, Wizard.
Oh boy.
Amazing. Blake's home.
Confidence.
Josh Lewis, that's not a real player.
He wouldn't have been unless I played alongside him. I had no idea.
You saying you made his career?
I was at the back end of it. We're in the dark days.
He's got a song dedication for Blake. Did you ever know that you're my hero?
Teddy, your top row.
Yeah, had Luke Rickinson, had Matty Cavallo, did not have Josh Lewis. Had really struggled this one actually. Had Dale Copley 6.14.
I had Brian Fletcher, Wizard 1.32. Matty Cavallo, Wizard, and Brad Takarangi 7.06.
I had Joseph Swali'i, Wizard 0.87.
Oh.
Teddy's right. You either go as recent as you can, or you do a deep dive way back. So I didn't expect him to be that low. Sean Kenny Dowell 14.02.
There we go. normal program is
Oh, there's more to come, Teddy. And then Mark Minicello 8.33.
Oh,
Middle
nice.
row, Blake.
Premiership winner played for New South Wales, Jamie Brewer, 0.95. Scored 4 tries. Premiership winner, Israel Folau, Wizard, 1.33. Did not think he would be a Wizard. Yeah. I thought he'd be a lot higher, but I was happy with that. And Premiership winner played for the Titans, Preston Campbell, 5.68.
Teddy.
Played for New South Wales Premiership winner Michael DeVere, Brain 0.58. Scored 4 tries in the game. Premiership winner Canterbury legend Matt Utai, 2.32. And Titans player, Premiership winner, regular answer, and golf partner Daniel Mortimer, 3.83.
I was so close to taking Daniel Mortimer. And I'm like, nah, I'll leave him for Ted. But in hindsight, I should have, because it's much better score than what I got. I had Liam Martin, 0.71, Brain. Jamie Lyon, 4.14. And Chris McQueen, 5.12.
Jamie Soward 1.09. Jamie Lyon 4.14. Chris Walker 100.
Oh, never won a premiership.
I thought he won a premiership.
Well, he had the Penrith premiership.
No, we had a look this morning. He was in the 2000 Broncos team.
And I don't know, he only played in the grand final, did he?
He didn't play in the grand final, but he's in the squad. Surely that counts.
Premiership winners can play.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, there you go. Unlucky.
Lucky Paul.
yeah, again.
Bottom row.
Played for New South Wales and the Bunnies, Brian Fletcher, 1.86, Brain. Scored 4 tries and played for the Bunnies. Adam Mad Dog McDougall, 6.66. And the Bunnies and the Titans, Bo Falloon, 3.13. South Sydney Junior.
Jeez.
This fight is over. I had Brian Fletcher, New South Wales South. 4 tries in the game. Bunnies, Nigel Vungana, 7.94. And Titans and Rabbitohs, James Roberts, 9.71. Not even close.
Ooh.
Bo Falloon, Josh Lewis, that can't be beaten.
I had Matt King, Wizard, 1.57. Nigel Vungana, 7.94. And also had Bo Falloon, 3.13.
Adam McDougall, Brain 2.40. Nigel Vungana 7.94. And Bo Champion 4.30.
Total, Blake.
24.
Oh, not even close. Teddy.
36.2.
33.3.
Well done. 100 and what?
143.1.
Oh, well, what's the next portion of the show? Let's move on.
All right, we are running.
Funnily enough, we're running late.
We are running late. So, look, we'll skip the recaps from last week and we will go straight to previews this week. I pulled out a couple of games that I want to talk to, but we'll start with the Warriors, even though they're on a Sunday, and then we can go around the horn. They're playing the Dolphins, $1.40. Warriors are $3. RTS back to the centre. Ed Cossey onto the wing. I was really surprised not to see Luke.
No Metcalf.
What was that?
Well, what
Did you
happened?
hear that?
What?
Just heard something in my headphones. Yeah, really surprised not to see Luke Metcalf come straight back in. Dolphins and Warriors played 3 times. Warriors won 2, including earlier this year at Mount Smart. They played last year at Suncorp, and the Dolphins thrashed the Warriors leading into the finals. Teddy, what other stats have you got betting related around this game?
It found some really hard game to assess from a statistical point of view anyway. The angles here are probably the Dolphins have covered just 1 of 7 as a favourite. They haven't covered any of their last 4 when favoured by more. Haven't covered any of the 4 that have been favoured by 6.5 or more. Covered just 6 of 16 at 4. So Warriors very bad off conceding 30+. They did not recover well off bad defensive performance. 9-17 against the spread. Covered just 29 of 68 in Australia. If anything here, probably leaning the under. To pretty high total here. 57.9% when they're the home favourite, round 21-27. Warriors 27-15 under when they play a team outside the 8. Dolphins 4-0 the under when they're 6.5+ point favourite. So probably leaning the under here, but I thought this was the hardest game of the weekend. If I was betting inside, I'd rather be on the Warriors than the Dolphins.
Blake, your thoughts on this game, and before you get into it, do you think the announcement, the retirement, SJ said it's...
Yeah, I heard that.
Wow.
What's
Yeah, there it is. I think it's Shaun Johnson's lawyers.
Someone's talking to us in our ears.
Yeah, it's someone there.
It's God.
Not, it's a...
Oh, stop the names.
There's a rattling. Well, I don't even know what to say.
SJ's retirement?
Yeah. He said weight lifted off his shoulders. Like, do you think... Are we going to see something in the last 4 games?
Yeah, 100%. You're going to see someone who I believe will just let the shackles off, try and create one last memory. And it does do that. Like you're weighing, it does weigh down on you. You're keeping a secret from your players, from everyone, seeing what's he going to do next year. Now that they can still mathematically make it, but probably out of the 8 race now, I think we're going to see something a bit different, and hopefully they throw a bit of caution to the wind. They usually tend to win games when they're not supposed to. So, look, I don't mind the Warriors in this game, and I'm glad Roger's back in the centres because I think he was a waste on the wing. So, yeah, look, I think they're every chance in this game, and the Dolphins are sliding at the moment.
Yours, Paul? Your thoughts on the game?
I expect to see... the last 4 games of the season for the Wars, I expect to see a big emotional push for SJ. So I'm happy to take them plus the points here against the Dolphins. And I think we will see a few points. Like Blake said, the weight's off the shoulders now. I think we'll really start to see Shaun sort of play with a sort of freedom, I guess. And so... because of that, I do think we'll see a few points. And if you have a look at the Dolphins' last 4 games, I think they've leaked 20+ points in 3 of the last 4. So, yeah, I think with the team emotionally sort of, I guess, charged with the announcement of his retirement and the fact that now he's got that pressure off, boom, I think we see points.
Also, Karl, you look back to that last game they played last year that they lost. That was the one where they rested everyone. No DWZ, no halves, no forwards. Like, take that how you want.
Yeah, just a tough spot. We haven't got enough data to really know how to bounce back off a win against off a loss, losing to Trent Barrett as a coach. But there haven't really been too many teams who have suffered that. So we'll see how they bounce back.
I blame the Wars loss last week on Teddy. He wasn't here to give us a Trent Barrett stat. We tried to cover for you, but it didn't work.
I'm never not going to believe until it's not possible. And I've had a play with the table and the ladder, and I think we can still make it. And the farewell tour is a big part of that. Weight off his shoulders. He's play loose and free. The boys are going to get around him. He's got a massive easy game to win this week. Well, not easy game, but game to win this week. Last time ever running out at Suncorp.
Easy game to win. You're 7.5 point underdogs.
Easy game to win, Teddy. Clip this one up and come back. Last game at Brookie next week. Then the last game at Mount Smart. That is going to be absolutely rocking. And then last Shark Park, surely the Sharks will give him a little former player farewell nudge. It's written in the stars. And all of the teams around the Warriors, they all fight each other in the last few rounds.
Well, I'll lay you even if you want.
Sorry?
I'll lay you even money if you want the Warriors to make the unlimited, no max bet.
Max bet. I'm lost now. You really rattled me in my ears. What game, Teddy, would you like to talk about?
I'll kick off with Thursday night, hey? South and the Storm. Storm, huge road favourites. Very, very, very keen the Storm here, even though there's no Eli Katoa. Nothing like the Storm off a loss. They're a very, very good bounce back team. Craig Bellamy would have absolutely belted the hell out of him. I don't think he would have been that upset if there was a loss. I know he always likes to lose a game running into the finals. He'll want to see them back on track. But the absolute key number here for me is top 4 teams off a loss in the post-origin period covered 85%, which were the Sharks last week. The Sharks were horrendous last week. The Sharks were absolutely horrific against the Rabbitohs last week and still covered the 13.5 final line. So, and we've got South again. And it's like South are absolutely cast. Cody is back, but how healthy is he? They've also lost a couple others. Who have we lost here for this week? We've lost Sylvie Havili and Jacob Host as well. So I think the Storm are absolutely right here. They have covered. They are 28-16 against the spread against teams outside the 8, and they have a very good record against. Also having a big favourite, covered by 12.5 or more. South have not covered their last 5 against top 4 teams. So I reckon this could be 40, 50 points. It's one-way traffic. A bad situation for South.
They've also won 20 of their last 24 against Souths.
Yep, they have dominated South over the years.
I mean, to be fair, they've probably got that record against everyone, but
South. I don't think South have ever won in Melbourne for starters. So I think that's one of the bigger ones. But they've also been covering the spread. They've covered 7 of the last 10. So
Dragons hadn't won till last week either. So it's still big.
No. This isn't in Melbourne, so completely pointless stat.
Blake, any game you want to pull out?
Oh, mate, this is probably one of the tougher weeks. I don't know if you got anything on this, Teddy. The Raiders and Manly, I just think it's going to be, we talk about teams for the Warriors at least needing to lose, but the Raiders just keep fighting. They're such a tough team, even with everything going on. Do you have any stats around, I suppose, the Sea Eagles and the Raiders down there? Because Sea Eagles don't travel too well, do they?
No, they don't. They've covered just 11 of their last 26 as the road favourites. So my first inclination was I'd want to be on Canberra here. But they've covered just 6 of their last 19 at home, 3 of their last 11 as a home dog, 6 of their last 17 home day games. So, yeah, no real stats here. Sorry, Blake. I've got a bit of a lean towards points happening. It's a good over spot for particularly Manly. The last 22 have been 50+. But, yeah, I really want to try and talk my way into the Raiders because they were tough against the Bulldogs in a very bad situation for them. They were entitled a few times to drop their bundle when the Dogs got to a 10-point lead and thinking, well, we can't win this, we're gone. And they just kept on fighting. So, you don't get wonderful footy out of Ricky Stewart coach teams, but you usually get a lot of effort. And kudos to them because that team on paper is a very ordinary side. And this is no knock on Papali's peak and all that stuff. These guys, old guys at the back end of their careers, and a bunch of kids coming through. And the fact they're even fighting for a final spot is something else. So I'll probably have a bit of that.
It's amazing how much a halfback, we were talking about fullbacks were the new it position, but it shows with Fogarty how the Raiders have just gone upwards since he's been back. And he kept them in the other day. And I know they're, over $2 in this game, outsiders, but I think they're every chance in this. It's going to be a great game of footy.
Your game, Paul?
I want to have a look at the Dogs up against the Dragons, and I've been really, really impressed by the Dogs. I don't know what sort of stats Teddy's got there, but they just keep most of the time eking out those close wins. And defensively, they've been very, very good. To be fair, I think the two most improved sides for this season are probably your Dragons and your Dogs. So the Dogs can also do the Wars a big favour by beating the Dragons. And I just like the way they've been travelling. And now that we're sort of in the run home to the playoffs, I just see the Dogs just getting better. They would have lost that game to the Raiders the season before. But they really, really have got a very, very good team chemistry going at the moment. So, yeah, I really like the Dogs.
Before you jump in with your stats, Teddy, the one that stuck out to me, the average winning margin by either team in the last 10 in this fixture is 21 points.
They've been blowouts either way. I'll be down there this week taking the young fella down to a Pat Cobber. We're in blue and white. Hopefully we get out alive. But the key stat here for me is the Bulldogs are still severely underrated by the market. They've covered 12 of their last 17. They've got the second best defence in the comp. They'll take them a long way. So Georgia are very improved, and they play well at Cogger. They've covered 13-9 at Cogger. They're going to get a big push from their home base. But the difference between Canterbury and St George Illawarra this year is the consistency the Bulldogs are putting with their performances. Whereas St George Illawarra, they were flogged by 40 by Penrith the week before, come out and beat the Storm. And we're seeing this time and time again. But they're liable to put in a shocker this week as well. So they've covered just 5 of their last 16 as an underdog off a win, 9 of 24 for a win. So, credit to Shane Flanagan. Like if I'm giving a Coach of the Year award out, it's Shane Flanagan. Yeah, they were the hot favourites to run last, and we're 5 weeks out from the finals, and they're in the 8. So, I'm not going to lay any drive-bys on one of the hosts here who might have picked them for one win, but I'm surprised it's only 3.5 in this one. I thought this game had kind of 6, Dogs by 6. So I'll be on a small bit on the Bulldogs. Paul.
Nice. All right, let's get to some betting then. We've got $100 each to bet on whatever we like. NRL later. Just see if Surly's sent anything through. He has not.
Nothing. What up, Surly? He's probably sort of planning out SJ's big party.
You reckon?
Hope we get an invite.
Maybe. Teddy, your $100. Where's it going this week?
I'm chasing you, Karl. So I'm firing off on a 3-leg line treble. We're going to open with the Storm minus 14.5 into the Panthers minus 16.5. Trent Barrett is 14 and 14 and 52 in his last 4 years. So pretty sure Parramatta off a win have a shocking record as well. And Penrith are just firing right now, so I think they'll absolutely dominate them. And I'm absolutely sick of doing my bottle on the Tigers, so they can get in the sea, as they say. Knights have won and covered 5 straight against the Tigers. I'll be taking the Tigers. That's why Newcastle minus 9.5 against the Tigers there. So I think it'll work out about $6.60 odd.
Very nice. Blake?
I've gone a little treble. I've gone the Panthers minus 8.5, the Storm minus 8.5, and the Dogs head-to-head, $70 on at $3.40. And I've gone in the Warriors game, Dallin Watini-Zelezniak to score a try. The Warriors 1-12. Dallin scored 3 tries in 2 games, and I think the Warriors are a chance. $30 on at $6.50.
And God bless his last try to get the over home in last week. I've never loved that man more in my life.
You want to go?
Yeah. I've got a hunch.
Oi.
So,
yeah.
It's going.
We're trying to wrap
I haven't
this up.
even started. Teddy's already.
Thanks, guys. I'll see you guys next week.
I had a dream. The other night. I was playing the slot machine, and
we've already heard this hunch, haven't we?
no, you haven't. And 777 came up, boom, 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 jackpot, bang, 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 win. So I'm going to take 3 number 7s this week in a nice little tidy multi. I'm going to take barely a first grader Nathan Cleary to score a try. I'm going to take DCE to score a try, and I'm going to take Shaun Johnson to score a try. So a 3-leg super slot jackpot multi. That comes out to $24.84. I'm going to have $30 on that.
Question, Paul. Why didn't you have $77 on that?
Good question.
Because I need some money for another bet just in case that doesn't come in. The other bet is a try score bingo, and I'm going to take the 2 Sunday games, all jerseys 1 to 7 to score a try. And the 2 Sunday games are the Dolphins and the Wars, and the Knights and the Tigers, and that's paying $4.25. So I put the 70 on that one there.
All right, and one bet for me this week.
He's defending the lead, feeding.
Yeah,
just giving the
straight bet.
Giving the punters what they want.
Yeah.
Storm Bunnies game, going to have a little double as I did last week. Anytime try scorer into winning margin. Grant Anderson to score Storm 13 plus, paying $2.50. He has scored 5 tries in his last 4 matches.
He's the most improved player in the game.
Oh, yeah.
What is going on there? He couldn't get a run for a long time, and now he's one of the best wingers in the comp the last month.
You
Bellamy, man.
You could probably say that about a Melbourne Storm player for the last 5 or 6 years, just somebody who did nothing at some other club. They pick him up, and all of a sudden he's a bloody superstar.
Yeah, but he's been there at Melbourne for years doing nothing. I thought we'd capped out on him, but he's been great. And that young Jack Howarth has been super as well.
Great little combo.
Obviously, you know what it's like, but he seems to be making the right reads, Blake, in defence. And I don't know, when you little story for you. What's the hardest thing about playing centre when you're new to the comp? Is it fitting into a defensive system? Is it making sure you're running the right line? I imagine defending is the hardest part.
Defending is the hardest part. Out there on an island when they're running shape inside and outside the halves, it is the hardest thing ever. So I think he'll actually turn into a back rower, but at the moment he's Remus Smith's off to England, so he's already any other centre coming for his spot, he's already got it.
Yeah. Sometimes a baby giraffe takes a little while to find his feet. Now we're away. That'll do us. Teddy, thank you very much for your time. Good to have you back.
Right. And I'm glad that we didn't have to get too aggressive today, Karl. I'm glad that my Shaun Johnson takes met your approval.
Look, I had some pre-workout. I was ready to go. Just disappointed that I couldn't go at you.
You've had the angry pills. You've got nowhere to use them.
Exactly. Blake, thank you very much for joining us. Your insight is valued as always.
Thanks. I'll stay alive with you, Karl, and ride that Warriors train until every last breath we have. And Paul, good luck in the 9 to 5 games, mate. Hopefully a comeback or at least one win.
Oh, I guess. Stay tuned.
Is it a nudie if you go 0? Nude run around the office.
Don't mention that, Blake, because Paul would do that voluntarily. He doesn't really encourage it. I believe the HR team of the late 1990s have had to deal with this incident before.
There's a lot more people in the office back then too.
To the punters for listening, thank you very much. That'll do us. We'll see you next week on the Advantage Line.